Hey, Nizer, how you doing? So,
Shafik, I'm doing great.
all right. So my name is Shefik, and I'm here going to be your moderator for a number of series of panels throughout the day. And I'm joined here by Nizer. He's the founder of this wonderful event. It's called HipHopTechCon 2020. It's an inaugural event. So first of all, Nizer is the founder and director of Brooklyn Tech Week, as well as today's event, HipHopTechCon. He is currently spearheading the formation of the Hip Hop Accelerator. It's the first accelerator exclusively supporting hip-hop entrepreneurs and underserved startup teams with early-stage investment, mentorship, and technical training geared for team leaders to help grow and scale creative and tech startups. That's a lot going on. Appreciate your endeavors here. Yeah.
Absolutely, and thank you for the introduction.
Okay.
And yes, it is a big endeavor. And the fact of the matter is, we're in a time where we need bold action. We need resources. We need insurance in terms of helping startups grow. So let me just take a step back and say that I am Nizer Saunders, as Shefik just said so, and I am the founder of Brooklyn Tech Week. And this is the inaugural launch of the HipHopTechCon conference. And I'm so glad that you all are here and attending. With that said, the conference came about because of the COVID situation. During COVID, we found that most people were either paralyzed from being in quarantine and finding themselves faced with friends and neighbors who came down with this pandemic, this flu, this disease, and people didn't know what to do. And then we also found that the ugly face of one of the most historical bad things, which is America's, I forgot how we pronounce it, America's most curse, which is the the enslavement of African Americans. I'm going to put it there on the table. And now that we see COVID has taken place, we see that there has been a unleashed tension among civil officials, such as the police officers, on civilians. Many African Americans, men and women, have found themselves in the crosshair of death or imprisonment just being black. And I want to address that issue real quick. I think that we see law enforcement agency officers as an outfit that should be protecting and serving communities and citizens. But something happened. Something is wrong with the program. Why are certain people being targeted? And so we have to take this into consideration and find out what's the solution. And one solution posed is that there should be a defunding of the police. And I would like to say that might be a tactic, but I think we should keep our eyes on the prize, and we should focus on entrepreneurship and building up our economy and practicing generational wealth. Why? Because without having a community that can do those things, we cannot participate adequately in the political system. What do I mean by that? Well, when you own your homes, when you own the businesses in your community, you have equity in that community, and you have a sort of contract with your neighbors. And your neighbors understand that politicians work for the community and not the other way around. So our community, we need to come together using our economic power and might to order and control and talk to these politicians and say, this is what needs to be done. Because we know you give police officers blanket immunity to do what they do. You create the laws. And we need these laws to be fair, to be civil, and to be humane. And so the Hip Hop Entrepreneur, the HipHopTechCon conference is a conference bringing technology's best practice to the hip hop community so that we can learn to be an artist, but an entrepreneur in the same hand, so that we can manage our endeavors, control our wealth, and build a strong, mighty economy, and make sure that America stands strong and is living up to its true democratic values. And with that said, I want to thank you all for attending, and we look forward to a day of great talks, discussion, and powerful networking. And with that said, I want to just make sure I give a shout out to some of our community partners. And our community partners is Brooklyn Tech Week. We want to thank them for co-sponsoring this event. We want to thank Fiverr for being a co-sponsor of this event as well. And also our community partners, we want to thank 1128 Entertainment. We want to thank DeFi Cap Exchange, Hip Hop IO, Black People and Cryptocurrency. You can find them on Facebook. Invocation by Shefik, which you see him right here. You got to check out his show, syndicated, beautiful show covering all aspects of life and people and their endeavors and professionalism. But I won't tell you too much about that. He'll do that somewhere down the line. We also want to make sure that as we listen and learn, we take what we learn and we try to execute on what we learn immediately so we can start the practice of entrepreneurship. So with that said, I would like to let Shefik take the last few words so that we can segue into our fireside chat with the one and only Johnny Nunez.
All right. Thank you, Nizer, for that great introduction and setting the premise for today. We are going to be here all day long up until about 7 p.m. Is that correct?
Yeah. 7 p.m. is the last show. So let's, and then we have a artist spotlight at 7:30, which I want you to hang around because we do need some entertainment, some relief. And then we close out at 8 p.m.
Yep. Yeah. So stay tuned. Next up is Johnny Nunez
at 12:15. So we'll be back after this 5-minute break.